Welcome to Jack London State Historic Park. Did I anticipate hiking today? As you can tell by my outfit, no. Do I know who Jack London is? No.
For the record, I'm a big fat bloody liar.
But I'm about to learn about him because I am on his property. I'm currently hiking to his gravesite, again, in clothing that's not appropriate for hiking. There's poison oak everywhere. And then I'm going to go see the cottage or his dream castle that burned down, and then learn about him and then see the house he actually lived in. So come with me for an adventure.
Once again, I've found myself alone in a place I probably shouldn't be, hiking uphill in a state park I've never been to, because apparently I can't resist a remote gravesite and the promise of a tragic love story. Several sweaty miles later, slides totally ruined, dignity gone, I crest the top of a steep knoll, and there it is, the final resting place of none other than Jack London and his absolute ride or die, Charmian. And if you're thinking, Jack who? Fair. Before today, I barely remembered he existed out of some vague high school memory involving wolves and snow. Jack London was the literary rock star of the early 1900s. He wrote Call of the Wild, White Fang, and The Seawolf, which basically made him the king of man versus nature angst. But more than that, he was a socialist, a sailor, a war correspondent, and full-time chaos magnet. Now, Charmian, his second wife, wasn't just some literary plus one. She was his editor, business manager, travel companion, lover, muse, and frankly, a badass in her own right. Think less damsel, more dame with a typewriter and a passport who claimed Harry Houdini as an ex. They chose to be buried here, beneath a massive mossy boulder salvaged from the ruins of their would-be dream home. And if that doesn't scream poetically tragic, I don't know what does. But just a mere few feet away lie the tiny weathered headstones of David and Lily Greenlaw, who died in the 1870s. They were the offspring of the original settlers of this land before Jack bought it. It's haunting in that quiet, unshakable way. Now, being the glutton for ruins that I am, I couldn't leave without finding the actual remains at the London's dream, Wolf House. Cue another hike. Suddenly, through the trees, she appears, a skeletal stone mansion, like something from a Bronte fever dream. They called it Wolf House because Jack was obsessed with wolves. Spiritually, literally, metaphorically. The house was meant to be the crown jewel of his utopian ranch. 26 rooms, 9 baths, redwood beams, custom stone quarried from the land and designed by architect Albert Farr to last 1,000 years. Spoiler, it lasted one night. Just days before move-in, in August of 1913, a fire broke out, likely from oily rags left in the basement, and the entire house burned to the ground. Jack stood there, watching it go up in flames. Charmian said it was the only time she ever saw him cry. He died just 3 years later. And now all that remains is a skeleton of stone and soot, the bones of a dream that never got to breathe. But here's the twist. This wasn't even the house they lived and died in. That one's still standing a few more miles away. So if you want to see where Jack and Charmian actually lived out their wild, weird, passionate lives, let me know in the comments and I'll pack more sensible shoes.